Hey everyone, it's Reality here, and I just got this new dash cam. It's called Ventrue Element 2. I spent a lot of time online looking for a good dash cam, and I just wasn't sure which one to get. So this one really stood out to me. The packaging looks pretty cool, as you can see. The build seems pretty solid. I guess we'll try this out and see what this brand is made of. The packaging itself seems to be a lot of fun to open, so let's see what's inside. This looks like it might be a remote, which is pretty neat actually. It can come in handy, I guess, if you want to start and stop your recording. Let's take a look at that. It comes with a sticker at the back. It's got microphone symbol on here. I guess it's for recording. There's two buttons here, so I guess they have two different features on here. Let's see what else is in here. This seems like it's the camera itself. Let's open this up. Oh wow, just looking at this, you can feel like it's a good built camera. But you got the different buttons here. There's a mic right there, the slot for micro SD. There's a reset button and power, it seems like. At the bottom we got the USB-C port, and there's another mount here. I'm not sure what this is exactly. This might be the microphone or maybe the speaker actually. Let's take a look at the screen. That's pretty straightforward. It tells you what each one of those symbols mean on here. This is on really tight. Oh, there we go. You got a box here of a bunch of other cables, I assume. Okay, let's empty this out. Not sure what this is, but I guess we'll find out in a sec. What is this right here? Okay, so this seems like something that fits at the bottom of the camera. If I just was to slide it in. Oh, it sits in pretty snug. And I guess this is the stand to hold the camera in place. You got your USB-C port here again, and obviously a sticky at the back here to mount it on the dash. Let's put this aside. Let's see what else is in here. This is a very long cable. This is to power your camera. You can see the other end of this cable. It's a USB-C, which fits right in the camera port. Let's put that aside. This is a USB-C to the regular USB. They give you extra pairs of stickies in case you want to remount it. What else is in here? There's nothing in here. Oh, and there's more in the box. So I guess there's a video you can watch, and they give you QR codes here. Put that aside. They give you a cloth to clean your screen with. It comes with a couple of screen protectors in case you want to add that onto your camera screen. We got some stickers, I guess warning signs. That's actually pretty cool. You got a booklet of all the instructions and how to connect. Let's see what else is in here. Okay, and you get a really long cable of USB-C to USB-C, and there we go. Yeah, this is the other camera. It also has a USB-C port here to power this unit. This is a much lighter camera, and it has a sticky at the back so you can mount it to the back of your car. The long cable that they just provided right here, this should cover the distance between the rear windshield all the way up to your front dash where you want to power this up. Also, I've noticed that this camera is just really well built, and you can just feel it by holding it in your hands. It's got some weight into it, and overall it seems like it's not something that would break very easily. And however, the fact that the screen is from edge to edge, I feel like you could crack that easily as well if you were to drop it. Alright, so looking further into the instructions, they actually sent us a sheet that shows exactly how to connect the camera. So we're actually supposed to connect the small camera with the USB to USB-C into the front-facing camera, and from the mount of the front-facing camera, you mount it into your cigarette lighter. So let's place this here, and let's pull this one out. So if I'm doing this correctly, I gotta put this on the side. Yeah, right there. Mount on the side. Hear that click, and put that down right there. And then we can get the rear facing camera, put that on the side here, and grab the USB-C to USB-C. Now, oh, not this one right here. Now it says put the 90 at the, oh, there it is. Okay, so at the side, I don't think it matters if you put a 90 or a straight one, as long as it's connected. There we go. And then this goes into the bottom of the camera, right there at the bottom. So we can connect that as well. And there we go. But because I'm inside the house, I'm gonna try and connect this USB-C to USB-A in here, just so I can maybe power up this camera and see what it does. Okay, so now I've connected this USB-C to a power source on the other end, and I'm just gonna plug this in and see what we get. I believe the power, oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you can see there, it's asking for language. Okay, no, that did not work. Let's pull up our cheat code sheet here, and it says, oh, this should do it, this button. Now you can select your area, press OK. You have a view of your front-facing camera, and you also have the rear view camera showing on your screen. But if you want to change that, you can click this button right here, the triangle. It changes the mode. On the bigger screen you can see your rear camera, and on the smaller section you can see your front-facing camera. If you want to toggle that again, and then you can see just your front-facing camera, and this is your rear camera. But anyways, let's go check it out and let's see how this camera performs. Okay, so we're gonna try installing this in the car. I have a Honda Civic here. I think this cable's gonna be long enough. So they give you a really long cable here.
We got a really long cable here.
So I'm gonna mount this camera right underneath this transponder over here. So they give you a little crowbar in the kit, just so you can pull a little bit of your caps around the corner and try to tuck in your cable. So I'm gonna just roughly measure. I'm gonna put it right below the transponder, so I need at least about this much. So I'm just gonna start tucking this in, and hopefully this is able to stay in there. This gets a little bit tricky when you're going on the corners, but you might have to just try to tuck it in whichever path you can find. The shortest path would be the ideal one, but you want to just make sure it's nice and snug so you don't have the door hitting it every time you, open and close. So, let's see. And you want to just do a quick check of your length. Make sure that this is enough to reach where you need to, and it looks just about perfect. Reaches to this point. So I'm going to continue with this procedure and keep going. There you go, nice and tucked in. And here I'm just gonna pull it around the corner. And here there's no space, no dedicated space to really bring it in. I'm just really hanging it off underneath the steering wheel. Gonna leave that excess there, and I'm gonna try and grab whatever I can. I feel like there's a hook behind here. I'm gonna just snugly wrap around it and give it a couple loops in there, whatever I can find, and bring it home. And I'm gonna plug this in right here. There we go. Let's do a quick check and make sure that this piece powers up. So we're gonna go follow the same procedures. So put the stand back in, plug it in, and use this port right here, and let's see if it turns on. Oh, there we go. That's upside down, and there you go. So it says please insert an SD card, so we'll be doing that shortly. But this is now confirming that it is gonna be powered from that spot. Now we can go ahead and mount this where we feel is ideal for this. So we can just tuck this in closer, maybe even bring this right through inside, and right about there. I think that's and then you can adjust your angle, whatever angle you want, and that should be good.
Okay, so before you mount it onto the glass, just make sure that you give it a nice little wipe there. Make sure there's no debris, because once you stick it on there, it should be on for good. And I'm not sure how sticky these are. They do use 3M tacks, so it's already pretty hard to peel. Oh, there we go. Okay. If you do end up screwing this up, they do give you extras in case you want to redo this procedure. I'm just going to line it up with the shade that I have here. And there we go. Going to give it a nice little snug push into the glass. Make sure that it's not going to fall off. Maybe hold it there for a couple seconds. Okay. And you can see it looks pretty nice and snug on here. So that's not going to fall off anywhere. And now when you see this excess cable here, you can always tuck it right back in there if you don't need the excess in there. And fold it up. And you can take this hub cap out again and you can pop that in there. There you go. Okay, so now we got to connect the rear view camera. So you just want to coordinate your cables correctly, depending on how you want to run the power. You have a 90 end here, and you also have a straight end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the straight end on top of the camera here, because the power port is on this side. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and plug this in, and let's see how that works. It's a little tight spot, but there you go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try and pop this hubcap again and sneak it in there. Okay. All right. I'm going to run the same cable along the same path. Sorry. Keeping it in there nice and tight. I'm gonna pull out my crowbar again and these cables are a little bit stiff. They're not so easy to bend, but they're just enough to get the job done. And you're gonna go ahead and keep sneaking it in. Should have probably untangled this cable first. And you keep going. You want to just double check that it's nice in there. Now you want to make sure that this cable is not sticking out of the fabric. You want to keep it snug inside behind it so it doesn't fall right back out. You're banking on the fact that this rubber is going to hold it in place. So I'm going to just go ahead and push it in a little bit further, bring the fabric out, and hide it in there. All right, let's continue. Pull this chair up, bring the cable back, and you want to continue. Okay, and you want to try and sneak it again in here, and this is always a tight spot. It's by the plastic that they have. So what you want to do is use your crowbar again and try and sneak it in there. You'll have to use a bit of force here, but it should still do the trick. And you tuck it back in there. You want to make sure that your cable's not being pinched, because you don't know over time if it's going to get damaged or not, right? So always try to protect the cable as much as you can, and keep fishing in the wire. All right, we almost made it. Okay, so now you want to just once it's out at this corner, you want to tuck it back in the ceiling and continue the other way. So once you get to this point, you're going to notice that you have a lot of excess left. What you want to do is just take the excess and maybe coil it up neatly so it doesn't look like it's a mess and you know what you're doing. And over here, you can always coil up this little piece of cable, and you can choose to mount your camera wherever you'd like. Okay, so now you just want to grab your backup camera and plug one of the ends in, and you just want to test that it's actually working. Yeah, you can see the light turns green. That should give you the indication that it is now powered up. And if you want to double check, and you can look at the front facing camera screen. And at this point, you can now figure out where you'd like the camera to be mounted, whether it's further back down here, or you want to move it back a mid height, or at the very top of here. It's all up to you. It depends on the type of view that you'd like. The neat thing about these cameras are that they can all be adjusted at the angles that you want. So you can mount it on in the ceiling, and then you can turn it around to whichever angle you want. The only other thing is you can move them sideways or place the camera up or down after the fact that it's mounted. But if you do make a mistake, you know that they have extras of these 3M sticky tacks, which seem to be very durable and sticky. So you can always use that to mount your camera again.
All right, thanks for watching the unbox video of the Venture Element 2. If you like this content, please make sure you like and subscribe and share my channel. And throw in the comments if you want to see me unbox anything else.